Hey friends, so I've been kind of slacking on my monthly crafty stash challenge. I did really well up till about May, June, and then with summer, vacation, everything that's been going on in my life, I sort of just let July go by without doing much of anything with my Christmas paper scraps. But I kind of wanted to get back into the mode of using up these items that I have in my stash. So for August, I have Halloween paper scraps. I knew that in August I would be working on Halloween, and that I have accumulated a lot of scraps. Sometimes when I have scraps, I keep them per collection. But for Halloween, I just sort of have one big bag of scraps from Hey Pumpkin and the Halloween party from DCWV, because I was kind of using the two together. So I want to show you what I have for scraps. And then what I plan to do is I want to kind of organize my scraps first, show you what I plan on using, and then I'll come back in another video or at the end of the video here and show you what I've created, because I really want to push myself to use some of those scraps, because the bag is huge and it won't even close anymore. So let's move this out of the way, and let me show you what I have. So here is my little bag full of scraps. So I have a couple different paper collections in here, some scraps besides Hey Pumpkin and Halloween Party, but right here at the front I've just had some cut aparts that I just shoved in there, so I could do something with these and make cards, or you know, make these shakers. So I need to do something with these. But let's just start pulling some things out, because I do believe that I have some more things in here besides scraps. So I have like this little envelope in here. That's not scraps. So really this doesn't need to be in there. This is already created. I just need to embellish it. So let's set that aside. And I also have some solid black and some glitter paper in here as well. But I really need to kind of go through and get rid of some of those tiny, tiny scraps. But as you can see, it's just so much. But I see I've got like a couple of die cut shapes in here, even some chipboard that doesn't need to be in here. I've got like a random bag here. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go through this and organize it. Yeah, here's some chipboard. That doesn't need to be in here. So I'm going to take a minute, organize these by type and size, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I went through and got rid of all the teeny tiny pieces and kind of group them in sizes, not necessarily by paper collection, but just basically by their sizes. And then I have a whole pile of larger pieces. And I also have some smaller pieces here. And this one is this little Pumpkins and Pets collection. I kind of grouped those together. I have all of like these smaller pieces in here. So these are small strips. I could use my punches to punch out, or I like using these strips to do like collage pieces for cards. So we have that. And then I found a bunch of cut aparts. So a bunch of different cut aparts here. from different collections that I need to use. We found the envelope. I've got a bunch of shape, circles, scallop punched out. So I have a bunch of these to make embellishments with. And I've got some of these houses from the Hey Pumpkin collection that I have fussy cut out. A tag. I've got a banner embellishment that I'd started. I've got a couple of card bases here and a bag topper. And then I also found a bunch of chipboard pieces in here that don't need to be with my scraps, but I found a bunch of those and a bunch of these really small stars and starbursts. So I will go ahead and use those with any of these embellishments that I create. Like the boo would be perfect if I wanted to add that on my bag topper. Maybe adding that and maybe a couple of the little stars. That way I could use that and already very simply have a bag topper there. So I am going to cut these counterparts out, have those ready to create with, and then I'm going to start using some of these bases, like any of these solid bases. I could do card bases with, you know, 2x2, 3x3, 4x4, larger bases. So I'm going to work on that first, get some bases and some mats cut out, add those together to do some cards, and then I'm going to create some embellishments with this as well. So I'm going to work on that, and then I'll come back and show you what I created at the end of the video. I've been working on getting this scrap bag down, and I think I've done pretty good. It zips now. It's not too bulky or overflowing, and I put my little pieces in this bag, and my larger pieces I have here, but I used up a lot of the paper. So I have a couple of different projects that I created, and I'm really happy with the small amount of scraps that I have, because I know that I will probably have more scraps to add by the end of this Halloween crafting season. But yep, super happy with the amount of scraps that I was able to use. So first thing I did was I like to take a piece of 12x12 paper and just put a bunch of my scraps down. And then I can cut this down for memory dexes, ATC cards, card mats, anything like that. I can use this, but all those little teeny pieces, I even put a couple of bigger pieces on here. And then I can just cut this down when I'm ready to use it. So I created that little like master board. Then I created some chunky rosettes, a couple of them. And a couple of these little mini baby ones. They didn't turn out perfect. And then in here I have all kinds of die cuts. Scallops, circles, butterflies. So all different sizes to create with. So that's just full of that. And I can create embellishments with these. And then I took the cut aparts and I have them just cut down, ready to be used. I've got my little envelope here. I took some of the strips and sewed them to create ruffles to use on bag toppers or embellishments. Then I created some of these little flags, and usually I punch a hole and dangle a charm or a tassel, but for these I didn't. I just used some buttons and things in my stash to decorate these. So these are already ready to go on projects or to send in Happy Mail. So I used up a lot of the buttons that I had in my stash and some of these Tim Holtz words and some chipboard that I had. Then I cut out a bunch of memory decks size papers that I can use to make memory decks cards. I've got a couple of these with those scraps for ATC cards. I've got a couple 3x3 cards that are ready to go. I left this one blank, and then these have insides, like a mat in the inside. Then I have a bunch of these like 4x4 ones. And these are all using my scraps or things that were in the scrap bag. Like I already had some of these card bases in there, so I used some of the cut aparts for here. So we have that, and then I have two large cards. This one with cut aparts. I did some paper tearing, and in the inside it just has this little ripped paper that you can write on. And then this one's super simple. It says Eek. And then when I'm ready to send these to a crafty friend, I could add some jimmies or some stickers on this. I think this one's pretty much ready to go. I need to add some jimmies on here. But I have a bunch of cards that are ready to send out in Happy Mail, some embellishments, some die cuts ready for embellishments. So super happy with all of the things that I was able to create and that I was able to tackle my August Crafty Stash challenge, which was Halloween paper scraps. So thanks a lot, guys, for stopping by and checking out this video. I will be plugging away some more on those scraps, but overall I'm super happy with how much I was able to use up in all of the projects I was able to create with them. So thanks a lot, guys. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye.